everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is MTG Ghoul Dude, and today I wanted to show y'all my newest brew. It's not complete because I still want to get some more cards for it, but this is where I'm at right now with what I have. So I decided I wanted to go mono green big Stampede, and I've started playing Ghalta on Arena, and I just fell in love with it because I just like the swing in tempo whenever you go from having 2 or 3 creatures to 10 to 12. You never know how many you could have in your hand, but let's read what Ghalta does. Ghalta Stampede Tyrant for 5 and 3 green, which he's very hungry for mana, is a 12/12 legendary creature, Elder Dinosaur with trample. When she enters the battlefield, put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Now, I didn't go the, put the best creatures in the, deck, big creatures deck. I went dinosaurs. I went tribal dinos. And like I said, I used what I had. I'm probably going to end up getting a Pantlaza deck pre-con and just getting the good stuff out of it and putting it in here to upgrade it. But let's go ahead and start off with the few artifacts that we have in the deck. Some are ramp, some are support. Starting off with the Soul Ring, the Cold Steel Heart, the Mind Stone, Lightning Greaves. Mirror of the Forebears it's kind of like just making an extra body, but at the same time it can be a clone of the best dinosaur you have on the field, which can swing at the tides at any time. Cauldron of Souls for 5 mana is an artifact, and when you choose any number of target creatures, each of those creatures gains persist until a turn, and when they die they come back to the battlefield if they had no -1/-1 counters with a -1/-1 counter. This is effectively board wrath protection, because mono green doesn't have a lot of ways to say, hey, all of my creatures can't do that, they don't die, but they do. But I didn't put a lot of them in the deck. So let's go on to our true blue ramp, and we got some very expensive cards in the deck. Starting off with Carpet of Flowers from the original Urza Saga, Nature's Lore, Rampant Growth, Sylvan Scrying, because we have a specific use for that. 3 Visits, Thunderherd Migration, Cultivate, and Growing Rites of Itlimoc I consider ramp, because later on when you have 4 or more creatures, it turns into a Gaia's Cradle. So, as long as you can keep your creatures, you can keep a Gaia's Cradle. So, let's move on to the creatures of the deck, the main event of the deck. Now, we only have 2 non-dinosaur-based creatures, and that is Knight of the Stampede, which helps reduce the cost of our dinosaurs, and Realm Walker, which is technically a dinosaur, but it's a changeling, so he's everything all at once everywhere. And it allows us to cast dinosaurs from the top of our library. And now we get into the big nasties, the biggest ones in the deck. Starting out with Armored Kingcaller. Deathgorge Scavenger is also good graveyard removal. Runic Armosaur is going to provide us some card advantage for abilities. Thrashing Brontodon adds a little bit of removal. So does Tranquil Frillback, and you can remove a graveyard, remove artifact or enchantment. It's actually pretty cool. Wayward Swordtooth adds a little bit of ramp, even though it can't block. Colossal Dactyl provides some reach and trample. Now this one, if you know this one has actually been eroded to a dinosaur. This is Fungosaur, and it has a vigor type effect. Whenever it is dealt damage, you put a counter on it, which is actually, pretty cool. Shifting Ceratops, it can't be countered, and it has protection from blue. Ripjaw Raptor draws a card when it gets enraged. Crested Herd Caller comes with a buddy. Ravenous Sailback gives you another option for removal or swing hard. Cavern Stomper is going to give us a little bit of card advantage. Colossal Dreadmaw because of the meme. Earthshaker Dreadmaw for card advantage. Oops, excuse me. Regal Behemoth is going to let us land our big fatties a little faster if we can keep the Monarch. Thundering Spineback is going to help us get dinos bigger and get more of them. Rampaging Brontodon is a huge one-hitter killer. Verdant Sun's Avatar is a great target for that Forebear of the Mirrors. The Mirror of the Forebears, there we go. Because having 2 out is just as good as having 1. Titanoth Rex allows you to cycle it to give another creature a trample counter if you don't need it. The original Ghalta, Primal Hunter, and me personally, Thrasta, Thrasta may just end up being a slot because for me, it's, I don't know, maybe it's just me. There we go. We're a little bit more zoomed in better. Yeah, but it's just, I don't know about this one. I mean, I have what I have, but I'm going on what I have. And now we move into our card advantage section of the deck, and we do have quite a lot of it. Starting out with a few tutors. Worldly Tutor to get... Oh. Worldly Tutor. Green Sun Zenith. And Finale of Devastation and Finale could actually help us close the game out. Shaper Sanctuary to help capitalize on somebody trying to kill our stuff. Colossal Majesty. Garruk's Uprising. Sylvan Anthem is going to buff the team, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield, we're going to scry. Guardian Project. Harmonize is just draw 3. Return of the Wild Speaker can be a draw 13 or 12, or everything gets +3/+3. It's up to you. Shamanic Revelation. Shamil is a new include, but you can't pass up. You know, your spells can't be countered, and at the beginning of your end step, Discover 5. That Discover 5 can be great, but it can also be bad, especially if you hit like an overwhelming Stampede. You know. And the Great Hinge rounds out our card advantage. And then we move into our removal, starting out with Nature's Claim, Atraxa's Fall, because we are starting to see battles kind of pop up here and there. Kenrith's Transformation, Naturalize, and then this is just the color that the color that does removal best when it comes to artifact and enchantment. Return to Nature, Beast Within for a permanent. Song of the Dryads to make anything, even especially an opponent's commander, a colorless forest. Vow of Wilderness, because if it can't attack me, it's not my problem. And Force of Vigor. Now we do have 3 last cards. You know, there's one of them I particularly wanted to hold back to the very end because it is, you know, it's a pivotal point in the deck where you're just like, oh, it's about to get serious. We have Heroic Intervention, Overwhelming Stampede, like I mentioned to earlier. And then we have Concordant Crossroads, because why not allow yourself to swing with that big 12/12 that you threw on the battlefield for free? That's what it's there for. And now we move on to our non-basic lands. And we do have quite a few even for a monocolor deck. Especially when it comes to Nycto Shrine to Nyx, which is really good in a monocolor deck. Demolition Field for some selective land destruction. Cavern of Souls to make sure our Ghalta gets down easy. I just dropped that card. If it will sit in there. Boseiju Who Endures. Rogue's Passage. Maze of Ith. Temple of the False Gods. And yes, that is a gold border ancient tomb. Don't bother me about it. My play group doesn't care. Myriad landscape. Scavenger grounds for that extra graveyard removal. Reliquary tower, because we will be drawing a lot of cards if we are left alone long enough. And to round it out, we have a Castle Garen Brig along with some BFZ, Noah, Bradley, Forest, Full Art Forest. I don't know if I want to get the Lost Caverns of Ixalan Forest for the deck, but you know, I might just get the regular Forest and put it in there because that's what I have for Greta. I have the regular basics. But that is going to be it for today, everybody. I really appreciate everybody that likes, comments, and has subscribed to the channel. If you're watching this long, go on ahead and just drop it, and you're not subscribed, subscribe. Because you never know what I'm going to put up on this channel. I might do, you know, subscriber recommended deck tech if I can, you know, pull it together. But, you know, you'll never know if you don't subscribe. But that is going to be it for today, and I will see you guys next time in the graveyard.